Hello, my name is Neal Schick, and I'm a 2012 graduate of Miami with a degree in life science and physics education, physics, and zoology. In my current capacity is I work for Lighthouse Youth Services, which is the city's largest nonprofit provider of youth-related services. Whether it is foster care services, runaway shelters for at-risk youth, or what my team does, providing education for students who don't thrive in a traditional school setting. I'm currently going in my fourth year, and as I sit back and reflect on my first year here, I think back to the fact I didn't have a lot of resources, but I still wanted to provide a high quality science education to my kids. And so as I got to know them, I realized, hey, my kids have a lot of real world experiences. They know a lot about how our world works. They just don't feel like they're ever successful in school because they've been told that they can't be. They're a behavior problem. And so I figured, how can I merge their love with the world and learning about it with school, which they obviously are disconnected from? And so how can I make them feel successful? And so I dedicated myself to finding and making every day dedicated to making the real world and school click. For example, we studied engineering and structural load forces by me giving them a very simple engineering task. Take newspaper, duct tape, and build a table that's less than 1 pound but holds up at least 10 pounds. And the things that I saw from my kids were crazy. They were utilizing engineering concepts that were really complex. Like, for example, this one used a triangular pyramidal structure and it held at least 35 pounds. I actually don't know how much it can hold. I said, wait. Don't let it crush. I want to use it for a video that I'm making. And so, again, just things like that. It's wonderful to watch my kids thrive. And I think back to how I ended up here in the first place. And I can attribute a lot of it to my experiences at Miami, especially in the adopted school program, where I got to meet a young man who was extremely inquisitive. This was at a group home, by the way. And he loved asking questions about how the world worked, especially with relation to drugs. And I asked him one day, what do you want to be? And he said, a chemist. I love studying how drugs affect the body. It's something that's affected my family. That's why I'm here. But I would love to be a chemist and learn more. I just don't know if I can. And I said, well, what's holding you up? And he said, school. I hate school. I can't do it. And so I thought, this shouldn't happen to people. If a person wants to be a scientist, they need to be afforded the opportunity. So how can I be a champion for at-risk youth in the field of science? And luckily, I met a Teacher America recruiter who set me up with this wonderful placement after I applied. And I now have the privilege of serving children in many capacities inside the classroom and out. As an active community member, I find as many ways as I can to champion my students. And two of those opportunities were being able to go with Teacher America's STEM initiative to Capitol Hill and advocate for high quality STEM funding for every school, regardless of social economic status. And also being involved in Cincinnati's Preschool Promise campaign, which is dedicated to providing high quality preschool for every 3 and 4 year old child of Cincinnati, regardless of social economic status. Last but not least, I would love to say thank you to the organizations and people who made this possible. First of all, thank you so much to the Miami Alumni Association. I'm truly humbled to receive this award, and it affirms the work that I do every day. Thank you to Dr. Ann McKenzie for nominating me for this award. Your faith in my teaching, I can't even put into words how wonderful it is to have you at my back. Thank you to my family for always supporting everything I do. And thank you to my wife, Kelsey, also a graduate of Miami. Without you, I really am nothing. And I love you very much. So with that said, thank you, God bless, and take care.